Well, this is a pretty somber video to make. Yet another controversy has arisen in the Dandy's World community, and honestly, this one might be the drama to end all dramas. What I'm getting at there is that depending on the response from Qwel, if she does make one, which is probably very likely because there are generational levels of pressure on her to do so. Actually, not really, because we'll just get to that towards the end of the video. But anyways, this could very well lead to the end of Dandy's World, and currently at the fork in the road we stand, you could reasonably call this the beginning of the end. That's especially true of the several community posts and TikToks I've seen where many players, even some of the most popular creators in this fandom, have announced them stepping away from the game and the community and just taking a break from it or the game itself to avoid supporting the actual developers of Dandy's World during the situation. So in this video, I'll be going through what the document that was recently released outlined about this situation, also showing a bit of the community's response to all of this. And like all videos on situations like this, do not send hate or harass anybody involved or mentioned in this video, which should be pretty obvious right now. But anyways, let's begin the video. Well, this all began when a person named Duck Adam posted a video titled "Yes, the owner of Dandy's World is lying to you," which basically said that Qwel was aware of Rox's disgusting art and then said she did not know about it at all. However, the person who made the video is also considered to be problematic, so many brushed it off. Now we have this document from a team member which goes into more detail on this and other parts of the situation, which I'll kind of summarize here. First off, they say that Qwel and Rox typically voice chatted instead of chatting with messages, which according to the doc could be intentional, though this is just a theory and can't really be confirmed concrete. Also, right after this, Duck Adams' Qwel is lying to you video is mentioned, which they confirm is completely true, contrary to his older videos. Now this part here is just insane. This part says that when the Rox drama was at its peak, a large majority of the staff team was doxxed and people raided the server and posted genuinely despicable things. Like, bro, if the situation is involving somebody drawing illegal art, and whoever this group is, I don't know what their affiliations might be, but you respond by just sending basically the same stuff but worse right back into the server. This literally makes zero sense, and that right there increasingly affected the person who made this document because it led to a worsening condition. Because if you don't know, this involved cancer, and stressful situations like this were hurtful to treatment, recovery, and so on. The doc also debunks a few bouts of misinfo, which the full doc is linked in the description, and closes with these final words, which you can pause to read. I read all 15 pages of this doc, and this pretty much expands our knowledge of the Rox situation a couple years ago, and it seems to me like it's backed up with way more evidence and people involved backing those claims up. And combining this with the response on social media, especially YouTube, in several scenarios, I could really see this as being the end of Dandy's World. And I say that because this is a really complicated situation that clearly shows a lot of manipulative actions from Qwel and Rox. Again, like past controversies, just more concrete. But now let's move on to how people are responding on the internet. On TikTok, this account posting Dandy's World news with nearly 100,000 followers announced they'd be stepping away from the game, but would still continue to post news content, but they do not support Qwel and Blush Crunch. Also, based on a lot of comments, it's pretty divided, particularly in the part that Qwel comforted Rox, and it took a long time to cut ties instead of that being instant, and it being twisted into Qwel supporting Rox, with the main argument being that it takes a lot to cut ties with a longtime friend. Really, this is pretty complicated too, but you can form your own opinions on these by doing your own research on the situation if you want a completely in-depth explanation of all of this. Also, as I showed in the beginning of this video, several huge creators on YouTube made community posts and videos announcing they'll either possibly cut ties with the game and videos or simply just not support the game by playing it. And now we've just gotten new info that Qwel, instead of like working on a response to the situation, is currently playing Overwatch 10 days after the main stuff started. Yeah, that's just insane work. That's just diabolical. But now I'm gonna give a few of my thoughts on what other people are saying on TikTok about this situation, and you'll be able to go support them on their pages. I'll have it in the bottom bottom left.
I feel like we all saw this coming, but it's my turn to give my own thoughts on the controversy surrounding Dandy's World right now and the future of my account. I cannot in good faith support Dandy's World or support Qwel anymore after the allegations that came out and how much proof and evidence there is behind it. I do this out of respect for the many victims and understanding for the many victims, as I myself have also been a victim of adults exploiting me for material online. I will be the first one to say that I don't know a lot. I only know the basics because I haven't gotten around to reading the doc yet. But I've heard and I know enough about the document to know that I am not going to support Qwel if this is how unseriously she takes victims. And I'm going to be honest with you, Qwel has absolutely no reason to respond. Because the majority of the Dandy's World fandom is made up of children, whether we like it or not. Even if we all stopped playing, that wouldn't really do much.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. It's now been a week and a half and Qwel still has not responded to all of this. And about everyone leaving not doing much, it's probably likely that'll happen. But based on the fact that I've seen a lot of younger people in the fandom become aware of the situation and kind of realizing then wanting to distance away from the game, it still could make a pretty big dent in the player base. And the fandom itself, in terms of posting online, that's a bit more uncertain to me because it's not really directly monetarily supporting Qwel, but it is just up to the person to decide if continuing to post videos, drawings, and like animations of the game is comfortable to them.
There's no new updates on the Qwel situation, and she still hasn't responded yet. But a lot of people are saying that they aren't sure what they should do or how they should interact with the content that she's made anymore. So I would like to give some guidance. If you didn't know already, I made an entire 7-minute video of the situation with Qwel and Rox that explains everything and exactly what Qwel did wrong. So if you weren't aware of the situation, I urge you to watch it.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have that linked in the description. Go check it out. It's a very informative video.
Firstly, the most important thing that we need to do as a fandom is to stop playing Dandy's World and stop buying merch from the official website. I know that this is hard to hear, but playing the game gives Qwel money, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid until she either comes out with a statement or gives the studio to someone else. Instead, play modded versions of the game or other alternatives, such as these.
Also, I heard that apparently one of these also just got discontinued. I believe it's Dolly's Factory, which is also very bad timing, but apparently it's still playable, though it's discontinued. I'm guessing it means no more updates. I don't play it, so I'm not that sure, but yeah, do go play other similar games and not Dandy's World for now, since it is monetarily supporting Qwel, as I said earlier, and the chance of Qwel responding is getting pretty slim now, so this might become something permanent, unless Brush Crunch is given to someone else.
A lot of people aren't aware of how terrible the situation is and the depth of it, and I've seen a ton of people saying that it's just old information being resurfaced, when it's way, way more than that. Another incredibly important thing to do is to support all of the victims in this. Chip is one of Rox's victims and has been especially helpful with the information that I provided in the last video, and it really saddens me that the victims have to go through all this again because Qwel lied to the entire community. Lastly, it is okay to still make content about the characters if you wish.
Yeah, overall, this situation is basically like an iceberg. All of this is probably just the tip of it, and more info might slowly emerge in the coming days and weeks. And just like I said earlier, and was just said here, it's up to you if you want to continue to post about the characters, like drawing them and so on, since it's really just down to what you think about how it supports anybody, and if you don't want to break your connection to them. But this actually might be the end, y'all. Qwel has to lock in and do one of those 1% 90th minute +1 shots to even have a chance at having this even go a neutral way, not even a good way. So it's not looking good for the future of Dandy's World, but we'll just have to see how it goes.